Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast. Colin Daly here alongside Benjamin Goldstein. And here we are, episode nummer 60, or I guess we'll keep it in English. I'm just preparing for my trip abroad here. Number 60 episode. Can you believe that, Ben? 60 of these. I've said
We've
that
done
same line 60 times.
You have, and
Feels like a
maybe by
million.
the end of the season we'll get to 100. Maybe.
That's a good goal. We have to do a lot of
Maybe.
recording to get there, though. A lot of
Yeah.
recording.
Hopefully we'll get deep. Hopefully we'll be playing a lot more baseball into the month of
Yeah.
November. We'll be able to do a lot more of this.
You know why they won yesterday in the walk-off?
Why'd they win?
I was wearing this hat and the Red October T-shirt.
You got to wear
I
that
had
stuff
I
every.
hadn't I hadn't broken that one out in a long time, and I decided yesterday it was a Red October type of day. We were playing the Padres. We ended up facing Robert Suarez. I don't think that was a coincidence.
No,
It wasn't a coincidence.
That dude is PTSD at
He
Citizens
does.
Bank Park. The bedlam at the bank, the blow up he had. I mean, I was able to. Did he come in? I don't. I kind of faded out at the end of the game today. Did he come in? Was he the closer today?
I don't know. I missed the last inning.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention.
Well, I'll tell you. I think there's a pretty good chance that him and Harper can end up being teammates at the All-Star game this year. So
That is true.
because he's having a really good season. I mean, both Suarez and I think we're going to see Robert Suarez, Ranger Suarez, and Robert's nemesis Bryce Harper. So
Whole lot of Suarez and Roberts. Anyway, Phillies tough road trip. That they
better
had
homestand.
London, Boston, Baltimore. I mean, it's tough. You go from London to two, or at least one really good team. Boston's okay. Pitching wasn't really there. And in Boston, Baltimore, Zach Wheeler didn't have a good start, but they came home. Obviously, a good homecoming. 1-2 of 3 against San Diego. Offensive explosion Monday night. Got 18 hits, 9 runs. Game 2, they got a bunch of
Died.
hits. Got a bunch of hits. Couldn't really bring runners in though. Nick Castellanos got the walk off, and then Wednesday afternoon, sellout for a Wednesday afternoon in June. Pretty crazy. They the knuckleballer kind of dominated them off it, and then the bullpen came in for the Padres, dominated the Phillies offense. Not a great offensive day. Ranger Suarez was still good. Harper 2 homers, but they win the series. You always take a series win. Colin,
Yeah.
any thoughts?
No, you summed up most of it pretty well. I mean, obviously, what happened in Game 1 was great. I think that the offense was definitely due for that. Game 2, you did say they got a ton of hits, but you don't get any rewards for having 13. I think it was 13, 14 hits. You can have a million hits, but if you don't score any runs among those hits, or don't score more runs than the team, I guess I should say, then they're useless. And it's really about being able to capitalize when a pitcher makes a mistake, and you have runners on first and second, second and third. Today we saw one out and the bases loaded. That was in the third inning, I think. And if you can't come through there, then the 3 guys ahead of you, you're erasing them, right? And there's no point in getting hits if they're going to be erased. So it's important that they start hitting with runners in scoring position and really hitting for some more power, because they're the guys that are repaying in this lineup, paying because they can hit the ball hard, and hit the ball far, right? Castellanos, Schwarber, Harper, Realmuto, and obviously now, but runs is the name of the game, not hits. So obviously, you need to get the hits to get the runs, but it's important that we string some hits together. And I feel like I'm stating the obvious here, but we've seen it the last couple nights now, especially in Baltimore, where they have the hits, they have the base runners, they can't stack them up with one another. And then from the pitching side, the pitching was good in this series. Aaron Nola last night had 5 very, very good innings. Kind of blew up in the 6th inning, but the offense was able to negate that. Today, Ranger Suarez, he allowed some hard contact toward the beginning of the game. A couple hard ground balls, fly balls, line drives, but he limited the damage, and His curveball today was really good. He got a couple strikeouts later in the game with it. I mean, absolutely disgusting. Very cool. He had his two kids and his wife were there today watching him play
Very
for the
cool.
first time. Did you see his son? He looks
Yeah,
so much like Ranger Suarez. It's scary.
yeah, he looks just like him. He was not happy to be in that heat though. It was too hot for them.
Well, yeah, it's understandable.
It
But
was
no,
hot down
that
there.
that was that was scary looking, seeing the two of them and how similar they look. And I was looking. The daughter looks just like the mom. It's
I mean,
weird.
it
It's really
happens.
weird. It
A
does.
big part of the loss Wednesday was miscue in center field. Marshman diving in or sliding in for a ball. Ball went under his glove, rolled all the way to the track. 3 runners
Oh,
scored.
I know
The
we're going with
triple
this.
made it 5-1. Want to ask you, Colin. Phillies
Yes, the
sent
answer is
Johan
yes.
Rojas down earlier this week for Trey Turner. Kind of shocked some people. We kind of reported it a day early. We were pretty good with that. A little bit of a shock to see Rojas go down, develop him a little more. It's looked pretty costly through at least the game. Marsh is a great defender out in left field. The center field, you kind of now have a hole. What are your Was it the right decision to send Johan Rojas down? Um, what could they do in center field? The platoon thing they're trying in left field. What do you got? Because it's kind of like a weird situation.
Yeah, I think it was the right move. I mean, his offensive production was minimal. He can't bunt, which out of your 9-hole hitter, especially when you look at the top four guys in this lineup, you've got Kyle Schwarber, who's going to lead the league in home runs, or at least be top three. Then you've got Trey Turner, who is an MVP caliber player most seasons in his career. You've got Bryce Harper, who's won the MVP twice and is, one of the best players in the National League. And then you have Alec Boehm, who's one of the best players in baseball in driving runners in when there's guys in scoring position. He's second in the National League in RBIs, I believe, second or third. So if you're not able to move the 7 and 8-hole hitters who do get on base, which isn't going to happen a ton, they're 7 and 8-hole hitters for a reason. If you as a 9-hole can't move those runners over, you're not doing your job. If Johan Rojas didn't get a single hit but could bunt the guys over, I would put him down there every single day, especially with his defense in center field. But the thing is that they're mutually exclusive, right? Being really good at one thing can't get you a spot over the other. If you have a guy out in right field who can't catch the ball every single time it's hit to him, I don't care how good you are at hitting. We need to make those plays every single time. Because, you see one bad defensive mistake, they're going to touch like the snowball effect, right? Now you're stuck at 2 outs. Guys keep getting hits, and all you're standing there thinking, if we had gotten that 1 out, the easy fly ball earlier in the inning, then this inning's long over. So yeah, it's a tricky situation, but I think it's the right call by the Phillies because, again, Rojas was doing nothing on offense. He can't bunt, he can't hit, and honestly, his defense in the outfield was not as good as it was last year. And the numbers will tell you that if you look at his, outs above average, defensive runs saved, nowhere near as good as he was on pace for in a full 162 last year. He had a couple strange errors where he would just drop balls that were hit to him. I don't know if you remember these, or he would get really, really bad reads on balls, and then he'd end up having to like dive for them, or he'd come just short. So I don't know. I thought that was really. I don't know if you can think of remember any of these, but there were a couple plays where he looked like he was turned around, like he didn't know where he was, which I did not think was very prevalent last season. So I'm not totally sure what the deal was with that, but no,
Yeah, I
it is
think.
weird because he was good last year before the postseason. He was a 300 hitter.
Mhm.
Of course, we know he was terrible in the postseason. He wasn't good in spring training. He hasn't been good in the regular season either. So yeah, I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, the defense was the biggest shocker for me. I think like that was kind of the tipping point. Defense starts to decline. That's really his only perk of being in the majors was, well, his defense. So I mean, kind of a kind of strange how that just kind of came out of nowhere. Um, I, I was saying I don't think he should have been in the majors at all. I
Right. I do
was
remember you
very
saying
high
that earlier.
proponent for him starting in the minors, developing him because now, I mean, he's 23 years old and a little bit of time in the majors, it's not going well. And you don't want this to affect him in the long run. With these rumors of the Phillies possibly going out and getting a big outfielder, Luis Robert, Kyle Tucker, at the deadline, could Rojas be a part of those deals? Maybe. It's a little too early to say right now. But could that be a reason why they sent him down? Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
But I don't know. It's a weird situation. But the Marsh thing, he's an excellent defender out in left field, center field. Hasn't been awesome so far. He kind of may or may not have cost them late in the game on Wednesday. The left field stuff, you trying to have Edmundo out there. David Dahl has been horrible at the plate over his past 25 or so plate appearances.
Well, yeah, it's 2 for his last 27, I think I just saw.
Yeah, so, it's you're starting to get a little bit of a problem there. Nick Castellanos in right field starting to heat up.
They have to
I
put
don't know.
Sosa out and left.
They
have to try it.
They're trying. Let's see how it
That's
goes.
a really, really. If you go into the playoffs, and I know they're talking about acquiring all these guys. First of all, I was huge last year on saying that you need to just focus on the bullpen. And there were people who say if there's not a spot in the bullpen, or the bullpen's fine. And my point was you can never have too many relievers. And while I believe that to be true, I don't know who in the bullpen right now I would replace. You're not gonna you're not gonna replace Alvarado, Hoffman, Kerkering, or Strom. Anthony's been really, really good recently. Today wasn't his fault. Not at all. He had a couple of defensive miscues, some weak contact. He's been good as of late. Jose Ruiz has been off and on. But he's still overall been really, really, really good. I don't know what is the top of my head, but I bet you his stat line, he still has an ERA, I'd say well under 4, right? He must.
Yeah, I mean this bullpen's is really good. As much as there's great bullpen pitchers out there the Phillies could go for. Mason Miller, of course, on the top of the list. Where are you gonna throw him in? Because this you're gonna have to give up one of your bullpen arms for Miller, which if it depends on the guy. But where do you throw him? Where do you throw a potential bullpen arm in? Because the bullpen right now is just.
Well, their weak point is Gregory Soto. Seriously.
True. But are the Oakland Athletics really, or whatever, I guess next year they'll just be the Athletics. Are they really going to want a Gregory Soto? No, they're going to want your younger guys. They're going to want an Aiden Miller or a Mick Abel or
Right. I mean, Soto is the first guy I'm replacing in the current bullpen. Do you agree? And you can't get rid of Soto.
I feel like that's the only guy
Yeah, I mean, everyone else has been really, really good. And I mean, the other thing to remember here is on the injured list right now, you have Luis Ortiz, who had a 3.32 ERA and in 19 innings for the Phillies last year. He got hurt in his first start or his first appearance of the season. And then you have Junior Marte, who's on the IL. He has a 2.7 ERA this season in 13 third innings when he hit the IL.
He was really good before he went out.
He was really good. Yeah. He was good in spring training. He is a perfect example of a guy who needed just some fine tuning. He wasn't good last year, but he did some work in the off season, and he did a lot of work in spring training, and it's shown. So
had a 0 ERA in spring. Came in, was pretty dominant until he got hurt. Yeah, I think he had a little bit of a scoreless streak going as well. And I mean that's a potential arm you could throw in, kind of put Soto and throw him a little bit of a lesser role, not as major as a role as he had. I mean, I'm not 100% sure of Marte's timeline. But also you look at the outfield as well. Going back, Cody Clemens is going to start his rehab. He will do a lot of left field work. That's another left fielder that you can throw out there, outfielder, because Cody Clemens could play really anywhere. So they have guys that are out. They have trade potential. I mean, the Phillies they're in a spot.
Yeah, and the whole left field thing is interesting because, like I said, I really can't see them adding. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do in the bullpen. It's going to be. I mean, you could. I guess right now they'd have to send down Jose Ruiz. He hasn't been as good of late, but he's still had a pretty good season. I assume I don't think Gregory Soto has any options left, right? He's a vet. I mean, he literally was like an all-star multiple years. So I don't know what's happened to him. So I don't know what they would do if they acquired a bullpen piece. You have Turnbull out there too, so you're going to need to keep some sort of long man. Though it seems like the Phillies haven't really needed one this season, given how good their bullpen has been. So yeah, that'll be interesting. The whole left field situation is what I'm most interested in. Because like you said, I mean, I'm still not sold on the Christian Pache thing. He's hit the ball hard especially earlier in the season. So there is potential there. But David Dahl, I don't know. I feel like that experiment might need to be over. You've got Rojas down in AAA. Can't fret about that. But I don't know. I really like a lot of times when you see major league players struggling, you look to try and pinpoint one specific thing, right? Like with Nick Castellanos, it's his plate discipline and the low and away pitch. With Bryson Stott, it's getting ahead of the high velocity fastballs that are high in the zone. But with Johan Rojas, it doesn't seem like he's a professional hitter right now. Like, it doesn't seem like he's in sync. It doesn't seem like he's seeing the ball well. And there's not one specific thing you can say, this is what he needs to do to become the hitter that he has potential to become. Like, I just don't know if he has enough fine-tuning and practice to be an everyday major league player. Now, Rojas will be on the postseason roster. I was talking about this with somebody yesterday. There's no one that's going to be in the Phillies lineup who you're going to pinch hit for. So they're going to be carrying subs for their defense. I mean, there will be one guy, whoever their best offensive guy is who's not in the starting lineup. They'll have one of those. So in case there's an injury, but the other 2 or 3 guys are all going to be defensive, because there's no purpose in carrying an offensive guy when you're not going to be pinch hitting. So, he's going to have a spot on the postseason roster. So I think it makes the most sense to have him, spend a good amount of time in AAA, learning to bunt, learning to face better pitching. Because, he's never played a game in AAA in his entire career, Johan Rojas.
That's true.
So I almost think, Ben, they should have like left field tryouts. Give David Dahl a couple more games, then give Christian Pache some games. Weston Wilson had a home run in Lehigh Valley yesterday. Maybe, I don't know, mess around. Cody Clemens, send him out there a little bit.
Yeah, Rob Thompson said sending Rojas down to cut down the swing, use the whole field, and continue to bunt. So that's basically what it is. But if you look at the All-Star voting, Johan Rojas, where did it go? He has more All-Star votes than Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor combined. Shows you the presence of Phillies fans. Did you vote for Johan?
I did not vote at all. It's so complicated.
It's not really complicated.
No, it is. You have to put in all the information. I don't have time my day to type that out.
All right.
You know what I do? I'll put in who I would vote for, and then I screenshot it so I can say, like, oh yeah, these are the people that I would vote for, but then I don't actually submit the vote.
You don't want MLB
just so I can see what my ideal All-Star. No, I mean, I have an account. I use MLB TV, so I already have my information. I'm just too lazy to go and put that into the thing. It's just not worth my time. So then, because what I'll do is they announce the All-Star rosters. I want to see, I voted for this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. They all made it. I'm great. That's pretty much all I do.
Phillies are welcoming.
I did not contribute.
Phillies are welcoming in the Arizona Diamondbacks this weekend. Tickets are still available for this weekend. Go to SeatGeek, download the app, use code Philly
Ooh,
Sports Report to save $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. I would recommend Friday and Sunday. Both are on national TV. Friday's an Apple TV game. Sunday's a Roku game. I'll be at Friday and Sunday's game this weekend, so I don't have to deal with trying to figure those platforms out. So
I
go
would
to
go on
SeatGeek.
Sunday. You know
Sunday,
why?
11:35 first pitch Sunday.
Vomit. You know why I'm going on Sunday though? Well, I'm not.
Are you
I'm
going
not going to
Sunday?
be. I'm going to be in Spain on Sunday.
Okay. Well,
Wrong country. But you know why I'd go on Sunday is because on Friday, you got to stay home and listen to John Kruk on national TV. Oh,
he's
I'm
going to
so
be on
excited.
Apple?
John Kruk and Tom McCarthy and Taryn Hatcher all on Apple TV.
Wow. Is that
I
like
don't know how they
what
got
happened to the
hired for that.
national people?
They don't usually. I don't think they use like Apple TV doesn't use like the big names like the who's the stupid guy on the end. I actually like that guy.
Michael
K.
K?
Like they don't use like Michael K. or Carl what the heck's his name? Carl Ravitch.
Well,
So
they have guys. I felt like they had like
yeah,
every time.
they just pluck people from local broadcasts usually.
Yeah.
Kruk was on one before actually, but that was before he got super popular.
He used to be with
So
ESPN back in the day.
I think he'll wear a suit too, Kruk.
Oh
Because
boy.
usually they wear suits. That's gonna be something.
Usually,
It
what
is
I
gonna
do
be.
when they're on Apple is I put in this that can do the radio broadcast, and I put on Francie in LA.
Yeah, I do like that you can do that, but no, I'm listening to Tom and John
Yeah.
on Friday.
When Kruk's
It
an
is gonna be
option,
weird though. They're not gonna be able to root for the Phillies.
it's going to be
That's what's
tough
gonna
for
be.
Kruk.
That's gonna be so strange.
Yeah, it's going to be because T Mac doesn't do national base like the Flyers. Jim
No, but
Jackson has done national Flyers games, but has had to be neutral. But I mean,
yeah, but
it's going
he
to be a
does
little
football,
weirder.
so he's used to
Yeah,
not.
Kruk.
He's used to sounding neutral. It's like
Yeah,
I think that's the harder
but
part.
he
I
doesn't
mean,
do
I've
Eagles
never.
games.
No. But I'm saying like I think a lot of broadcasters get their personality from rooting for their team. So I think learning how to call a game without having a team you're pulling for is like kind of different than
It's a whole
like I
different
don't
aspect.
right like I don't think it's going to be hard for McCarthy because he's done it before where he doesn't really care who wins. He says to act like he doesn't care. It's all mindset. But as Ben Davis would say, what did he say? It's all is that what he said? It's all mindset.
Who knows?
That was funny. But Kruk that's going to be funny.
Yeah, it'll be
He'll have
interesting.
to hit the cough button and cheer for the Phillies. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be. I want to be locked in for that game.
That'll be
I'll
interesting.
be actually. I don't know. I'll be in Maryland when that game's happening. So I don't know if.
You'll still be able to watch. You've got the Apple TV app. So, on Friday as well, Phillies are honoring
Yeah.
Hollywood Cole Hamels. He is officially retiring as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. I want to run through some of Cole Hamels' numbers. You're raising your hand, Colin. You have something to
I
say?
am. Before you go to his numbers, I have a fun fact-ish for you. I'm
Okay.
gonna turn it into a question. Do you know what Cole Hamels' real first name is?
I don't.
It's really funny.
What
It's
is it?
Colbert.
Oh, he's Colbert?
He's a Colbert. I didn't even realize it was a name.
I didn't know that. Colbert.
Yeah, he's Colbert Hamels.
I'm going to stick with calling him Cole.
I am too. Yeah, Colbert Michael Hamels. If you're looking for more.
Oh, that's very interesting. All right. Hamels as a Philly from 2006 to around the deadline of 2015. Here we go. 294 starts. Hold on. 294 starts, a record 114-90, a 3.3 ERA, 14 complete games, 7 shutouts, 492 walks, 1,844 strikeouts, 3-time All-Star in the National League, 2008 NLCS and World Series MVP, threw that no-hitter in his final start as a Philly at Wrigley Field on July 25th, 2015, and was part of a combined no-hitter on September 1st, 2014. For his career after he was with the Phillies, he was with the Texas Rangers for 4 years. He was a Cub for 2, and a Brave for one. Really fell off at the end of his career. His career record: 163 and 122. Career ERA of 3.43. I mean, you look at the stats. A great career. How many times? 1, 2, 3, a 4-time All-Star. Closest he got in Cy Young voting was 5th in 2011. Colin, you look at Hamels' stats. You look at what he's done as a Philly. Hypothetically speaking, unbiased, is Cole Hamels a Hall of Famer?
I don't think so. As much as I'd like him to be, I'd be very, very surprised if he got in. The one thing that does help his case is outside of his final season, he was always pretty consistent. There are some guys like Adam Wainwright. Just the last 2 years of his career, he just got pummeled. I don't even know if I wouldn't even count his last season. He only threw 3 1/3 innings. But every year before that, he was really good. 3.81 ERA, 3.78 ERA. 2017, he wasn't great, 4.2. Then above that, all numbers in the low threes and high twos. So that definitely helps him a lot. But
Hamels also, the innings is always kind of a big thing when it gets to the Hall of Fame. He threw over 140 innings every year outside of his rookie and final season. In 2020, only threw 3 innings with the Braves.
Yeah.
Rookie season, threw 132. He had multiple shutouts in 2009. His WHIP in 2008 was 1.082. There was a time where Cole Hamels would go out there from like 2007 to 2013 or 14 where the Phillies were just not going to lose. And in the 2008 postseason, when he went out there, the Phillies did not lose a single game Cole Hamels pitched in the 2008 postseason. And he was just had this dominant, unbelievable stretch for a little bit. He definitely is a Phillies Wall of Famer. Very deserving to get this big ceremony. Number retired, maybe down the line. I mean, we see David Dahl wearing 35 now, but we also saw Andrew Knapp wore 34 for Roy Halladay. 34 is now retired. So, I mean, there's different ways you can go with. Also, 15 with Dick Allen. Also, worn by Andrew Knapp.
Napper's just stealing all the Hall of Famers numbers.
I know, Napper. What are we doing? It's a case. I mean, maybe one day, definitely not first or second bout, but maybe one day he could maybe get it. I don't know. Right now, looking at it, the Hall of Fame voting, I don't think so. But maybe one day, like down the road, maybe. And probably when he gets voted in, he'll still look like the same dude because the dude hasn't aged since 2007.
Yeah, you're right about that part. And you look at some other guys who just look like they've been through a war. I mean, guys I love, Carlos Ruiz, man. He looks like he's in his 60s.
They all look. Ryan Howard looks skinnier than he did when he played. Chase Utley, his hair's very gray, but he still looks, young.
He's been been busy since he retired too. He's been the European ambassador for baseball.
You think he's coming over for Hamels?
He wasn't on the list, was he?
I didn't see a list.
Oh, there's a guest list that came out. I would find it, but I have it. It's on Twitter, which is on my phone, which is being used to film this podcast right now.
Hold on, I'm just gonna look up Cole Hamels'
Scott
list.
Lauber posted it.
Okay. Here, I'll pull it up.
No Cliff Lee on the list. It was actually a little disappointing. The pitching coach from his time will be there.
Was it like a picture? I completely missed this from Scott Lauber.
No, it wasn't a picture.
Oh, it was a. Let's see.
Tweet or an X post or whatever they call it now.
An X. How long ago did it come out? Because I'm gonna.
I think yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, here we go. Guest list: Jamie Moyer, Roy Oswalt, Joe Blanton, Tom Gordon, Carlos Ruiz, Charlie Manuel, and Rich Doobie. There's your
It'll be
guest
good to
list.
see Chuck.
Yeah, I saw him opening day. I didn't see him, but he was there on throughout the first pitch on opening day.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised. No J-Roll, no Ryan Howard, unless they're like
No
secrets.
Cliff Lee. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that they would release some of the names and not all of them, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you never know who's going to show up, right? I mean, if Ryan Howard decides to stroll in onto CBP, what are they going to do? Not let him in? It's like, it's just kind of off topic. But have you ever seen? There was a viral thing on one of the social medias. So if you're a tennis player and you win one of the 4 Grand Slams, you get this, like, I can't remember if it's like a card or a coin, and it gives you like VIP entry to all of the events. And Roger Federer, who's won tons of Grand Slams, they wouldn't let him into Wimbledon and he's like the most humble guy you'll ever meet, Roger Federer. And there's video of him like telling the lady, being like, "Hey, I left my gold whatever thing in the car or at my house, my allowed entrance." She's like, "Nope, you need to see it." And he just kept saying it over and over again, until eventually he said, "Ma'am, do you know who I am?" She goes, "Doesn't matter. You don't have your gold thing." He's like, "I'm Roger Federer." And the lady probably didn't know tennis. She was probably like, "Who's that?" She's there for her money. But yeah, I mean, if Howard, Cliff Lee, J-Roll, any of them show up, I'm sure they'll be let in. So it would be cool if they were kind of surprise guests. That would be neat.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, 2008 World Series champion, 2008 World Series MVP, may deserve a better bobblehead than what they're selling on Friday. Here it is. It was released on the broadcast on Wednesday. It looks like Ben Davis. And
if
Tommy Joseph a little bit.
Joseph, yeah.
The ears are huge. Like it looks nothing like it's really bad. So they're not even giving it away. You have to go. They're only making 200 of them. You have to go into the ballpark, into the store, and buy one. They're only making 200 of them. It's like that's a giveaway type of. If that's a giveaway, I'm happy about it. But I'm gonna have to spend some money on this bobblehead. I tweeted this with the picture of Ben Davis. It looks just like him. But I mean, it'll be cool. They're giving away the 2009 replica ring from that was Hamilton. That was Cole's best year, 2009. Maybe not best year, but he was pretty good that year. Yeah. So
that was their pennant year.
Yes. They did the 2008 ring a few years ago.
Yankees.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. Yeah. And then Sunday they're doing they're giving away a hat. That'll be cool. Yeah, we don't know, Colin. We got to figure out a schedule because you're going to Europe, so we'll have to figure out some sort of schedule for that. But I mean, we can preview. I guess we can look forward to what probably the next 2 series we can look at, or the rest of the homestand. As we are entering the end of June already, which is crazy. So they have a 3-game set against the Diamondbacks to wrap up this homestand. And then they go to Detroit, and then they're back at home against Miami. Riley Green post-game concert on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like Riley Green too. I didn't realize that.
Don't go to Europe.
I'll actually be in Baltimore on Saturday. So
yeah,
I'm really getting around the next 3 weeks. It's weird. I think I counted. Yes. I'll be in a hotel for 19 straight days. 3 in Baltimore.
Oh my goodness.
3 in Baltimore, and then I'll be, I think, 6 in Spain, and then I think 3 in Switzerland, and then another 6 in France. Oh, and then there's some other place in there. Oh, Italy. I'll be there for 3 days. So yeah, I'm gonna miss my bed.
Yeah, it's gonna feel good to sleep in your own bed when you get back. All right,
July 9th.
July 9th. Okay.
Doesn't feel close.
No, but it's really not that far away if you really look at it. All right, so eventful weekend against Arizona. First time they're playing them since Game 7 of the NLCS.
That's a sweep right there. I'll tell you right now.
We're sweeping Arizona.
They
All
have
right.
to. They got to be mad at him still, right? I am.
All right. And then 3 games at Detroit.
Oh, they're terrible. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I don't know if I can say they sweep 2 in a row. It's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
take 2 or 3.
yeah. 5 of 6. There we go.
And then
Look at me
we'll
being
look,
optimistic.
and then we can look at the next 3 against the next 4. It's a 4-game series against
Oh,
Miami. Two fireworks shows. There's a food drive on Saturday, and then they're
oh, they
giving away.
better win on the food. There's a food day in there.
It's a food drive that
Oh,
they're doing.
I was gonna say if there's some sort of food, they better win on that day. I'm
And
all
then
about the food.
that Sunday is the Bryce Harper headband giveaway. They'll win 3 or 4. 2 firework games, they'll win those. They'll lose one of the Saturday Sunday games probably. But
Yeah, I'm with you. This just made me think of something. This is how we can wrap up our a Colin Daly proposal to the Philadelphia Phillies organization. I have an idea, and I'm going to organize this. I think that at the end of every season, I'm sure they have stuff left over, right? Food, clothes. I think that the day they have the big sale right after the season's over in the store to get rid of all the stuff.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Right before Christmas, everything's like crazy discounts.
Yeah, they
On
have
that
the
same
black the red Friday, and then
right.
they have the tree lighting. I went to the tree lighting last year. Went on the
Yeah,
field.
they're trying to get rid of all their garbage. They
Yeah.
on the same day to get rid of their food, they should have a ballpark food tasting day.
Mm.
Because the thing is, I'm not a big going to the Phillies game guy. I like to watch it at home where I can see things more up close. By looking at the TV, it helps me with better analysis. But if they had a because I love ballparks. If they had a ballpark food tasting day, I don't care how much it costs. I will be there right away. In a heartbeat, I would be on the website the minute tickets are released.
Send an email to John Brazier.
Fast. I might. Who's that?
He's like the director of like promotions and stuff.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
The radio station that I intern at, he's part of a show at the station. So maybe I'll get you hooked up with that.
I'll be there. Yep, that's happening.
Right.
Oh man, I think people would buy tickets to that too.
Oh, we would go. Yeah, we'd have a whole Philly sports tent set up.
That would be a great vlog.
That would be one heck of a vlog. This weekend they're gonna have, I don't know if you know what Assad's chicken is, but it's like those hot chicken sandwiches and stuff.
Well, the Assad. Have you ever been to Ryan Howard's? So good.
It's so expensive
it's
though.
So good.
The Assad's loaded fries are gonna be at the Coca-Cola corner, I think it's called now.
They're going to have the loaded fries there. Too. They got mocktails.
I'm going to have to get those loaded fries this weekend.
They have the mango pizza.
Mango's good. Yeah.
I went to PJ Wheelahands at the ballpark when we were there, and they had loaded fries with chicken wings. So they were top tier. Oh, they were so good. They were spicy, but they were really good.
The best thing I've ever had at the ballpark, and then we'll wrap this up.
Oh, and Shake Shack too. I'll destroy
the
Shake Shack.
Last year's Schwarbomb burger. It was it was an onion ring, the bun, like another onion ring, bacon, cheeseburger, brisket, onion ring, bun. It was unbelievable. And now they got this new one with egg that I'm not gonna have because I don't like egg.
Oh,
but it was
that sounds good though. I'll try that.
I had that right before Game 1 of the NLCS, and guess who hit a home run the first at bat? Kyle Schwarber. I had the Schwarberfest shirt on.
Oh, it's perfect.
And I had the Schwarbomb t-shirt. Or I had the Schwarbomb burger. It
was meant to be.
It was good. I thought the Phillies were going to win the World Series that night, and then they lost to Arizona anyway.
You know what the Phillies can do if they want to be smart? And then I know I have to go. We can wrap this up. But they should get their minor league affiliates involved too. Because they have the Blue Claws, great pizza. Oh, their pizza's great. They have a pizza shop in there. It's amazing. And then the Iron Pigs have their pickle on a stick. I want the pickle on a stick. Pickle on a stick is great. I think that's the Iron. Maybe that's not spring training, right? No, that's Iron Pigs. Pickle on a stick.
I thought
Pretty sure
I
it's in
thought they have
Lehigh
like
Valley.
bacon too or something. I don't know.
They do, yeah. They have bacon on a stick, pickle on a stick. I had pickle on a stick. It was good. And that might have been I think that might have been in Clearwater. But regardless, get the because Clearwater they're an affiliate too. Get them involved.
whole lot of sticks with the Phillies.
Yeah.
All right. So Phillies, come back to home, win the series against San Diego.
8-2. That's my prediction.
8-2 against Arizona, Detroit, and Miami. Cole Hamels, not a Hall of Famer, but should be fun. Phillies posted this thing for the World Series thing. I think it was like an ad for Citizens Bank. But I think this week on Friday, they haven't announced who's going to be in the Wall of Fame yet this year. I think they start doing 2008 World Series champion.
They have to eventually
run through. And I think that's going to be announced on Friday, which I'm looking forward to because I'm a big fan of the Wall of Fame stuff. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Follow us on all social medias. Go to phillysportsports.com to read us. We'll be back when Colin's in Europe.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see you. Go Phils!
Go Phils!